you live this life or walk this road, then you can talk shit. Gambling with my life, but I refuse to go for nonsense. This the life I chose, this all I know, ain't many options. About to tell the truth, I make the rules like I'm Fleece Johnson.
Hey, what's up? This is Big Lee with Hustler Spirit. What's up, Fleece?
Man, I'm telling you, man, it's getting no better.
Gets no better.
No better.
Man, I read the book completely, and I will tell you this: I don't know nobody that would tell some of the stuff that you told about yourself. So I gotta give you credit. You always have, but the stuff in this book, and this book one of the 3-book series. If I can read it after interviewing you for almost a year, and it sends chills down my back, I can only imagine what it's gonna do to anybody else. So, wow, it's powerful, man. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I thank you too. And yeah, you're right. I'm thankful that I have been able to express myself in that form, right? See, here's the problem with it. A lot of things going on nowadays coming from people with like erratic type behavior. And you ask yourself, why is this person angry, tough, mean, or however they come out? And you don't realize that they holding on to something and they using aggression to prevent other people from seeing it. Do you understand that part?
Yeah, let's leave it right there because I already know where you're going, and that book describes all of that.
Yeah. I'm not going there, but what I'm saying is this: when I was in prison, you know, getting, as they say, prepared for a transition from prison to the streets.
Mm-hmm.
They got programs, you know, that is supposed to be government already funded. You know, the government done gave the Department of Correction all this money, and we wanted in a lawsuit where that money be used at $200 million. So I done been through all these programs, moral recognition therapy, that's MIT, Life Without a Crutch. I've been through Deadbeat Dads, all the programs. And
you had to go through Deadbeat Dads, and you don't have any kids?
Yeah. Well, you remember I told you I went back to prison to get off parole, went through the programs to shorten my sentence.
I know. I wonder why they had you take that program, getting out at the age you was, like you was going to have kids or something. I guess in case you met somebody with kids. I don't know.
No, they get paid money from the government. The government paid these fake people, man. You know, they show their little name tag that they done been to a college. Here's a little piece of paper. I got a degree in sociology, all this stuff. So when they heard about they can get money from the government to go inside of a prison, implement a few little policies, tell them their criteria, how to get jobs when you get out. We're going to show the inmates, this is how you get prepared for an interview, how you, what to say, how to write, what they call it, something about yourself. All this stuff.
Oh, like an autobiography or something?
No, not an autobiography. When you go fill out an application, they tell you to fill out
with your experiences, your
job experiences, and where you last worked. Do you have
your work history?
Yeah, your work history, and some and they request that you get proof from your last work
references. Yeah.
So I go through all these programs, man, and I took them serious. I said maybe I get out someday. I just want to go through the programs, and I did. And some I went through when I was locked up, and some I went through when I came back to get off parole. But don't you know, I realized when I was on the street, them programs do not teach actual reality of what's really going on out here and the difficulties that comes with it.
Didn't help you at all?
No, it didn't help me at all. It was a different story once you hit the streets and you say, you try to go take your mind on what you've been equipped with, educated with, and everything that they teach in them programs is not really happening out here. It's not even that. And so I think the prison is being really scammed. The Department of the government, the United States government, federal and state, has been scammed for years by these fake people claiming that they will be able to do this and get government funding and don't do nothing. The things that they do is not even true. When it's being lived, like I'm giving you an example. I get out. Man, I wanted to stay out. I feel blessed. Man, I done made it out after all these years. And so I'm gonna work. Man, I talked my way up on the job, making $27 an hour. I was a supervisor. But let me tell you something. I got that job not based on nothing I was taught in no program. Nothing. And programs don't teach you all this stuff, man. What's really going on out here. So I'm out here now. And I'm doing all right. But I'm doing that not from any learning from any program. You know, I had to create my own support system out here. You know, I had to navigate through all the bull crap out here and seek help from people already out here and advice on which direction to go in. Because I didn't know what direction to go in. You know, and I had people that had been out here. See, you go in the program, them programs ain't got nothing in the program that tells you how to find resources, right? Other than their resources is go to the resource centers, stuff like that. No. Resources, the best resources are not even in books. You got to get the resources yourself out there. You got to place yourself in situations, positions where you will get a chance to meet somebody with experience and good advice, right? And that's how you get your resources, is through that, right? You gotta do it on your own.
So if you don't have a support system like you talk about, family members, close friends, or whatever, when you get out here, what's the chances of you going back to prison?
Man, 90-something, about 95%.
So if you don't have family members that love you and support you, you saying 95% of the time you're going back to prison?
Oh yeah. The ones that survive the 95% is usually inmates, prisoners that has already acquired a certain amount of knowledge and learning before they got out. That is giving them the ability and stuff to overcome the obstacles out here, you know, without resorting back into the crime life, you know. Because you got a lot of people, they get out here and they don't have that knowledge on which way to go. You know, they know right from wrong, but they don't have a clear path that they can see, right? You got to make them see what you're talking about. Like, for instance, I knew very little about carpentry when I got out, but I got hooked up with somebody that got his own construction. Now, I know the basic, you know, how to read a ruler, take measurements, work with certain tools, small, you know, but I didn't have the full understanding of the trade. And I'm around somebody that do. And he taught me that hands-on experience, man. And so what I learned from that was this, is that if you ain't willing, these programs that they have and don't teach people how to take it upon themselves.
So it's not gonna, you're not gonna become self-motivated.
Right. They tell you how to rely on these organizations out here, their resources. Rely on them instead of taking the reliance back to yourself, right? Opening up things, getting you more motivated to want to help yourself, right? Instead of relying on somebody to help you.
Because like we talked about the last interview, how you were so used to somebody's telling you what to do.
Yeah, that's all it was branded in me, right? It was like you get a tattoo that just stays there, right? All my life, 7 years as a baby, I'm locked up in boys' camps and stuff. And you know what? They tell me when to go to bed, when to wake up, what to eat, what not to eat, when to turn the lights on, when I'm going to take a shower, when I can do my laundry. Now, you take that 7 years and you take, 40 years in prison, added to the 7, and I think 3 more years additional I did in prison. So you're going to take 43 years, added with
to the 7.
With 7.
It's 50 and you're 66.
And I'm 66.
Yeah.
For 50 years I've been told this. What to do, when to get up, when to cut my light out, when I can watch TV, make your bed up, do this and that. And this is all I know is taking that type of orders.
And they releasing you to a world where you have to...
now they gonna tell me at a time when I ain't even know I was going up for parole. Hey, you got parole here. And I'm like, what? And I go on and cuss them out. And they still give me parole. And I said, when I go home? They said, tomorrow. So I'm like, God, I ain't got nobody waiting on me. Ain't been able to call nobody. Well, I don't really know nobody, a number. And my mama's dead, and my daddy's dead, and I got a brother and a sister's dead, the one that I did get along with. And so I ain't got nobody. So I get out, and it was hard. See, they had a game, right? I go to CAR. I know what you told me about my list, but I'm just starving. I went to see parole officer. And listen at this. I'm paying. Now I'm out of prison. These programs are talking about who can help you and how to get help and all this. I'm paying that halfway house $600 a week to stay there.
They don't want you to be able to go nowhere else, do they?
Look, my money that I was making at $27 an hour, I was a supervisor. They was getting $600 a week from that check. They're supposed to get 25% of my gross. I said no. They even sell it for $6, which I even thought that was still too much. You know, I'm in a halfway here.
Hold on, you made the price yourself?
Yeah.
Wait.
Because they would have got more. You know what, 25% of what I was, okay, let me give you an example. I made over $1,800 a week. I made over that every week.
Because of overtime.
Yeah. And so they get $600.
But hell, you would only have to pay them, what, $500?
Mm-hmm. If they got 25%,
of 1,800 is under $500.
How much is that?
A little bit under $500.
Are you sure?
Yeah, 25% of 1,000 is what? $250, right?
I robbed myself.
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
Well, you're still, if I had been paid.
And then that was based on overtime. So the week you didn't work overtime, you had already agreed to the $600. So some weeks that you might have not, you probably didn't make $1,800, and you still had to pay $600. So they got over on you, but they should have corrected that.
Now, Punk Well said, this goes back to what I was saying about the program.
Mm-hmm.
I just demonstrated. Had I known all that,
Yeah.
had the program been sufficient enough to teach the correct way to prepare you for the street, it would have never happened. Because the program would have had something about halfway happened. How much they charge, how much they can charge, and how much they can't charge, and how to make sure they don't get over on you, this and that. No, not on it.
Well, I think another thing, they took advantage of you because it was hard to find a halfway house to even accept you.
Yeah, it was.
So they knew that. They knew they was the last one. They done tried several other ones, and they was like, nah. So they knew they had you. So I think they just took advantage of you anyway. Probably more than they would have anybody else.
They took a great advantage of me. And so, but at the same time, I look at it like this.
Mm-hmm.
You took advantage of me. And at the same time, I felt like I was being blessed too.
Yeah, because you wasn't in jail no more. Man, in those halfway houses, let's talk about that. In the halfway house, you in there with other inmates that's being released, ready to go home. Just kind of, I guess that's how they transition you. They put you in a halfway house to kind of let you get a feel of things a little bit, and then they release you on to wherever you end up going.
Now, it's usually you got a system full of corruption. Organized criminals, everything works up in the system.
Mm-hmm.
We got people steal from the government, works in the system. People that fool the public, fool you. Now, the problem is this. We got prisoners are becoming a big business now.
Yeah, well, they've been a big business.
Yeah, but a lot of the realtors ain't really looking at it. They begin to start looking at the money involved.
In halfway house.
Yeah, and taking our house and converting our house into a halfway house.
Mm-hmm.
Into sectioning it off into rooms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have one kitchen, have everything sectioned off into make as many rooms as you can. Because you're going to get paid top dollar for each inmate that comes here. All you got to do is make sure they get fed 3 meals a day, and that they on a carefree, and that you know, you have some sort of programs lined up where you can send them here and there, give them bus fare every now and then. It's only requirements. If you got a house that you done made 6 rooms out of, the government gonna pay you for the cost of the inmates, their clothing, their food. The government pays all that. And the government gonna pay you for the housing of them. They gonna pay their rent and everything that's cost per inmate. Man, you get ready to bring in, out of 6 inmates, you gonna bring in around 8 to 10,000 a month. So everybody is like, man, let me go on and get me a halfway house and get it running. So it's a business now.
How long do you have to stay in the halfway house?
Well, here's what they did to me. Nobody expected me to get out of prison. See, it was a game. They had a little thing set up for me, make me fail, right? I done beat them to bitch in prison. I humiliated them. I mean, I just brought a whole system. You know that talk, you can't beat the system. I beat their butt. And so they had feelings about that. I get out. Everything was set up for me to fail. So when I went to the halfway house, I stumbled up on that job. I became a supervisor of a warehouse production, the whole production area. I had my own office, name on my desk. I had a secretary. I had a refrigerator and all that in my office, man. I'm making big money. I mean, man, I'm making a killing in her. I'm running this complex machine. That's what it's called. $3 million machine. I ran it. I learned it. You know, so the Department of Correction, when they found out about that, I go to the halfway house, they tell me they getting ready to send you to Covington.
You talked about that before.
Yeah,
Why they send you to Covington?
No, that's to get my job.
Oh, okay.
To take my job, man, because I'm doing too good with it. And they expect that. See, you got corruption everywhere. I don't like to say this because I don't do politics, but I'm going to say it. Even way up there in the White House, there's corruption. We done seen corruption, arrogance, evil, crime committed from the White House all the way down to the project. It's everywhere. Every business has it. There ain't a business up and running that has not tasted corruption. And so it's on a big scale now. So they really taking programs, the government funding all that money, they pocket all that money. They go inside these prisons, they just say anything just sound good, you know. Leave everything else out, right? And when we inmates get out of prison, our man locks up on the cause. We coming out believing it's gonna be according to what we was taught in these programs. We expecting it. And when we get out there and see something different, it's like, we don't know what to do now. Only certain inmates that have accumulated some piece of knowledge can actually have patience to figure out what they need to do and go in that direction. The majority of them get confused And they just stand there like, I don't know what to do. And they don't. Grown men. Is man are locked on. They got that prison program stuff in their head. Everything they was told, but when they out here in this world, and it's not according to the way they heard it, I was told it. They man locks. They confused now. I don't know what to do and all that stuff. And
Well, some of it's been overwhelmed, I'm pretty sure, but the other part is what I think we all understand and believe. There's a direct line between education, our uneducated, and jail or prison.
tell you something else. I met a woman, a black woman. I don't know her name. I met her in Charlotte. She said, I know you. I watch all your videos. She said, man, you've been through a whole lot. I said, yes, ma'am, I have. She said, what them people did to you and I? She said, it's by God's grace that you came out. She said, a miracle was performed. And she said, can I shake your hand? And she offered to pay for my stuff. I said, no, I'm good. But here's the point. I made it. I mean, had I not had the knowledge to seek help instilled in me, hey, there's no telling what I would have did to survive out of her. You know, everything was on the table. You know, and it said, you know, cause you got families out here, they want their loved ones to come out of these places a different person, man. They don't want society to try to be mean to them. They don't want it to be where they can't get a job, can't socialize, and all this. These programs do not prepare inmates for actually what they really got to deal with out here. So if it was me, now with the government, no. That money can be used for another better purpose, because really it's being taken advantage of. That the government, all the money, the government. People talk about scams. People talk about people scams. Don't nobody even realize how much the government has been scammed it, man. The government gets scammed out of trillions of dollars. Not millions, I mean trillions. And ain't nobody talking about it. I know about it. I know it's happening. And I know a whole lot of programs dealing with prisons, social issues, school systems, busing or whatever, the job market, people implementing this and that and seeking the government grants. And I know, I done lived it, done seen it, that the government gets scammed a lot, a whole lot. And it's bad, man, but you know what? That's why I very seldom don't listen to people no more. I think about when I was in prison, yeah, I was going through it, man. you just don't know how many days and nights. Just imagine, I'm in there as a child. I ain't getting no letters from nobody from the streets, man. No visits. I'm a child in her. Can't call on nobody. And my mama started, later on, she started sitting, my mama don't like writing. She can't drive either, so she'll get a card and read the card and let the card, whatever's on the card is what she actually wanted to really tell me. And she just said her name and had my sister one of them to mail it for her, but the loneliness of being in there as a child and all this stuff happening around me, nobody to talk to, nothing. It is by God's grace, man, that I feel blessed, that I taught myself how to read and write. And then I did apply myself to reading and learning. You know, and then my belief system changed. Everything changed. My perspective, perceptions, my everything, opinions on a lot of things just changed when my knowledge increased. My knowledge increased, my understanding increased. So now, I learned this. This is why we call ourselves hustler spirit, man. Seekers of the truth. See, you can be led by a lot of things in life. But when you led by the truth, you know you led the right way. And so, you're never gonna know truth until you seek it, right? I let truth be the light. That's my light. The truth is my light. That's the light that gives me the ability to see what's ahead. Is I got the truth. So when I got the truth, I mean, it's a light. That's what the light is. It's the truth. When you hear them songs, You Light Up My Life and all this other stuff about, let me tell you the symbolic meaning. I just told you, truth. That's what the light is. That light, they say, pass the light from her that torch is light. The truth is what this represents. The light has already been symbolized as truth. So, that's how I feel.
All right, Fleece, run me through the day you got out of prison, the first day. Say you got out this morning.
Now, I can take you to it. I remember.
Okay.
See, I'm coming from the maximum security prison, Eddyville. Eddyville is like 300 miles from Louisville.
They sent the limo down there to get you, right?
No, the van.
They didn't see a limo?
Mm-mm. Yeah. Keep thinking, limo. And people hard, man. You get one. This is the process. They take you up in the administration building. The warden always come out. He said, "Well, you going home?"
You remember the warden?
Seabo. He said, "I hope you do good and all that." And then after he talked to you, the people would take you and give you whatever money you got on your books. They give you to you in a check.
How much money did you have?
I ain't have much.
You was in there 40 years, man. I know you had a whole lot of money in there.
I wasted a lot of money.
Oh, okay.
And if I had saved it, I came out a millionaire. No doubt. Wasted it. And so
how much did you have?
I ain't have over $100. I know it.
You hold on. You did over 40 years And when you got out, you did not have $100.
No, I didn't. The truth. My ignorance. The truth. I'm gonna keep it real. I was ignorant. And
But you never thought you was gonna get out either. I guess you wasn't really trying to.
no, I didn't. I left a lot of money in there.
What do you mean? People
And then
owed
I
you?
had 4 businesses in there.
When you left?
Yeah. I left them to people. You know, we don't take none of that stuff home with us. We leave it in other people that still doing time that we get along with. I leave them all my property.
So did they send you some money? Because I know you.
No, I don't communicate like that.
Oh, you left Ed alone. You don't even talk to him.
No, not them. But I have that with others.
Right.
But on our way home, before we got to Louisville, we stopped at a Kentucky State Reformatory, as a prison. And some of they guys made parole. In the prison van that is taking me to Louisville is going to pick up a couple of them and take them with it. We going to the same halfway house.
So how many is on this van?
2.
It's just 2 of y'all?
No, we picked up 2 and me.
Oh, 3. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, one of them, he said, I heard a lot about you. My name is Don Don. He said, we going to the same halfway house. He said, you got family? I said, no. He said, my family will be your family. So, we get to halfway house. His family came, Trevel, Steviano. They came, man, and Tanisha was with them. I ain't know none of them, but man, you talking about the finest black women you can put your eyes on. I said, that's your sister? He said, yeah. So she said, hey, please, my name is Trevel. You know, I'm Don's sister. And we talked, and she said, I know you ain't gonna wear that prison stuff out here. I said, look, man, I get it together. I said, I'm just out. She said, give me your pants size and all that. And I gave her everything, shoe size, everything. And she, every day, Trevel would bring me big bags of clothing and shoes and stuff. You know, she would say, and look at the name, it's name brand. I don't get nothing generic, right? And I said, well, thank you, right? And then she started riding me around, down, I hollered, can I go with y'all? She said, no, Donna, you know, go with Stevie Allen and them. I'm going to ride police around and let me see the city and kind of get him, you know. So I felt good about this, but at the same time, I felt ashamed, really, because before I left the streets, right, I get my own money. You know what I'm saying? And when I was in prison, I did the same thing, you know, right? I can hustle on my own, man. I don't need nobody to do nothing. I don't like asking nobody for nothing, none of that, right? Never been in that situation, right? I have always been somebody that people say, if ain't nobody got it, police got it. And I used to be that one. But them times done changed now, you know. And so, you know, I'm riding around with this Trevel, and come find out she was married, man. But I didn't know at the time, man. It took a while, man. We got real close, man. I found out she had a husband, you know. Well, right now, her husband and me, we friends. You know, that's who I work for. And but that's a different story. But yeah, she was my only support system at that time, Trevel. And she was like, she wasn't somebody that was trying to get with me, none of that. Man, this woman's heart was so good that people took, you know how people gonna say things, gospel. Oh, she buying him clothes, she buying him this and that. And she got a husband. What woman will do that? All that. They don't understand goodness. A good heart, right? That's what kind of woman, a virtuous woman. See, you got different categories and classifications of women, right? The highest category of any woman can ever receive, you know, as a title, as a beautiful spirit woman, is virtuous. They said a virtuous woman is different from a regular woman. She's different from a cowgirl, a whore, a woman that wants a man for money or whatever. A virtuous woman is one of them God-led women, and a virtue is she has just a good. I'm just gonna put in my word, a good heart. This girl Treva, even though she had a husband, and no, she got her own kids and stuff, grandkids and stuff. Right now she got grandkids, but not then. But she cured, man. She cured. She cured, man. All the way up, people were saying, like, you know, I done ran into that since I've been out here. You got some good people in this world still, man. They hard to find, but every now and then we may run across somebody that we just, the only word we can use is they good. You know, their last name should have been good instead of whatever it is. Like Linda Good, David Good, Searle Good. Their last name should have been good. Because they were good people, man. And so I realize now that my knowledge has increased, that it's more to my life than just me experiencing things and God getting in the picture and all this. There's no doubt in my mind I was born special, man. No doubt in my mind about it. That I was born special, up under special circumstances to be someone special, and that the devil came in at an early age and took me down his yellow brick road. But guess what? I done seen the wizard, right? You remember in the Wizard of Oz, the moral of that story was the same as man's. They all went to the wizard. One to get a heart, one wanted courage, and one wanted a brain. And you know what the wizard told him? Man, I came all this way for nothing, man. I mean, what you want, you already got. You had a beating sound. He said, that's your heart, man. You already got a heart. And you already got a brain. You just need to use it. See, you felt like you didn't have one because you ain't been using it. And you that wanted courage, the courage is in you to bring it out. Let it come out. Don't let fear prevent you from showing courage. Only thing that can prevent courage is fear. So, in my case, I went through everything I went through. I'm now beginning to realize it. I done went through, I done experienced things in this life for a reason. And God is revealing more and more of that reason to me as the days and weeks and months go on. I'm learning more and more. So I'm seeing more and more. And only thing I want to say to y'all out there is don't let the devil in, man. Don't let him in.